Being is consciousness. Meditate by identifying yourself as consciousness. Not as a body, not as a mind, but as consciousness, formless, changeless, unconditioned, undifferentiated consciousness. The knowledge of consciousness is by consciousness. That which is innate alone knows it, and that alone is yourself. Who am I? Inquiring in such a manner so to remain abiding as consciousness is good meditation. In such meditation, the knower, the knowing, and the known are not differentiated. They are undivided. They are one thing only. Self-luminous consciousness, free of the supposed individuality. Introvert your mind so that you do not misidentify as any kind of being bound by the modes and states of the mind. Meditate in a non-objective manner upon your true nature. all right.
The position of sitting in front of the guru as he or she would shed the truth is both powerful and in a certain way it can also be seen as kind of tricky, because you either take the guru right on his word, by the word of my guru, well then you should be finished with that and not come back the next day saying, I wonder how I'll know what consciousness is. I feel it's a good challenge, spiritual challenge, to have face that you, or you face that yourself. I mean, if the Guru's word is really the ultimate, okay, then let's go with it.
What is the word of the Guru? What is meant by that?
Well, it could mean assurance, clarification, and making a very close comparison between the aspirant and the guru, that they're not separate, they're not different, but still the aspirant had better bow and pray for all the grace he or she could get. So by the word, it means it's like a transaction of credibility in a certain sense. Compared to my everyday thoughts, in a less spiritual situation. So it's using the grace that's offered and taking it where it can go. I don't mean to be too active with this motion idea, but something like that. You're sort of taking a stand that your renewable certainty, uncertainty, has to come to an end, and the Guru's word is there to be taken, just like the grace of the Guru.
The oscillation disappears when the ego subsides. When the ego subsides, truth is revealed inside.
I think we're all very blessed with this opportunity, and I'm grateful.
You said introvert the mind. Eh, I tried that, and that is by negating and trying to become more subjective. but as soon as the meditation ended, again my mind has again become extroverted now, where I believe in the imagination. Actually, during the meditation, I could see I believe in the imagination, everything is in the mind, but I project kind of a reality outside. So one thing I did is I said, okay, I do not have any desires. I don't need anything from anywhere, and that helped introvert the mind. The only thing I need to keep it permanent, that is that introversion, that non-objective. So the tendency to extrovert, that I have not yet removed.
What is it that is aware of the extroversion and the introversion? That does not become lost at any time. An introverted or introspective mind is one that ceases to believe in its own imaginings. It is not the true knowledge that comes and goes. The self does not come anew, and it is never gone. It is immovable. We can say that it is ignorance alone that comes and goes. And ignorance consists in believing as real what is only imagination or unreal. You desire to make it permanent. Permanence is innate. That is of the nature of the self. Therefore, it transcends all modes and states of the mind. The mind bereft of its modes and states, its imaginings and conceptions, is not different than the self. It is Brahman alone.
So when there is the belief in the imagination, how to overcome that?
To see the unreal as unreal is getting over it.
Thank you.
In trying to follow your instruction, when I am within, if there are no words that are going through my mind or images, then that's helpful, but that doesn't mean that the ego isn't there. And I don't know what the next thing I can do except to maintain that inner quietness, or as much as I can. If that goes on long enough, will the ego, will it just subside? Or it's almost like it's waiting for me to get too tired to hold it back, and then it comes back again.
It's not a matter of length of time. It's a matter of depth of knowledge. Depth of inquiry is what is necessary.
So how do you access, or whatever the word is, how do you get more depth then?
By inquiring.
Well, yeah, and so then I just stay with this.
Come to know the one who wants to stay with this. What is her nature?
Well, her nature isn't a she, for one thing, so it has to be below that. If you have to get past all the external qualifications of any kind, when I'm coming out of sleep in the morning, I find myself sometimes in a state where the eyes won't open. But I'm not sure where, but I'm aware. And trying to make an effort at that point, before I have a sense of being in the body, is that a legitimate thing that I'm doing? I don't know. This is all very confusing to me.
Find that in you, which is neither awake nor asleep, nor in between. find that in you, which is known as consciousness. It transcends the notion of being a person.
Yes, that came to me this morning while I was trying to do whatever spiritual practice I could come up with at that point. And one thing that occurred to me was you're not individualized, but is the inner entity that comes up with that the ego, or is it an understanding that I'm not, my nature is not individualized?
You'll have to dive inward to find out. All right. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.